What's up, everybody? It's Jeffrey Lyles welcoming you to another edition of Lyles Figure Files. Happy Thursday. One more day to go. It was wild because for a change, I was on top of things. I was early with planning out, getting the thumbnail, getting everything all set up. Then I looked and saw that it was scheduled for 6 o'clock. I was like, people, you schedule right, you mess up. So, anyway, I'm glad to see everybody here, hanging out, see the chat, filing in. Appreciate all of you. Hopefully, you had an awesome week. We're almost done. Time for, hopefully, for most of you, a long weekend. Mine is riding. I don't want to say riding. I feel like that's too strong. It is the mood for my weekend. My extra day off will be highly influenced by the events of Saturday's game. The Niners play the Seahawks, and yeah. So as long as that works out the way I want it to, it's going to be an awesome weekend. And I'm going to once again listen to a slew of Niners podcasts, YouTube videos, and have myself a big smile on my face as I'm settling in, enjoying a nice extended weekend. What I'm not enjoying right now, though, is the cold. It's 27 degrees here, and I felt every degree of it. It was really cold outside. But anyway, before I go any further, let me make sure to thank the Lyles Figure Files VIP members. And let's go with Vintage Bob Allen, Bro, John Morsey, Vince, Graham Tuttle, Pixelated Poses, DJ No Good, and Doom Customs. There we go. And then the Year Plus members, Retro Robo Toys, Nathan William, Robert Hayes, MLC Turtle, Tom Finn 2018, Jay Woods, Ryan Daly, Henry G, Lawson Wallace, David Thados, James Green, Lefty Two Lions, BK, Blake Tarpley, and last but certainly not least, Jamelin Parks. Thank you all so much. Appreciate it. And make sure to thank the super supporters from the last month: Lawson Wallace, Retro Robo Toys, Nathan William, and my little brother Jason Lyles. Thank you all so much as well. Now let me get into the chat, and let's see here. I know there's some confusion because I had to change the live stream feed that I think a lot of you all had, because that was the one I had originally. What up, Snake Eyes? Howdy, partner. Reese, good times on all. And even though I know your names, what I'm going to do is just go with what's on screen so it's not confusing to everyone else, but I know your name. So, how are you, my friend? Lawson. Hi, Jeffrey and Lyles Figure Filers. What up, Lawson? How are you tonight? Blake Tarpley. Okay, so this one works now? Yeah, I was about to get this one started and pressing go live, and I said, wait a second. It's got two. Let's get rid of all the confusion. Let's keep it down to one. I think what would have gone on is there would have been two separate streams. And as the Ghostbusters told me once before, you don't ever want to cross the stream. So there we go. One for our live. We're going to keep it nice and clean there. King Elector, the king is in the building. What's up, y'all? What's up, royalty? Omega 579. Hey. What's happening? What's happening with you? What up, Brian P. Reels? What happened? I was waiting here. Then it said video was unavailable. Well, I'm glad the number wasn't unavailable. What is even happening? I think I've explained it all. What up, G Brew? Greetings, Earthlings. What up, Jamelin? Ronnie said, yo, what's up, people? Hey, Jeffrey. Love how you swap heads on that CoverGirl retro and put her on the other body. Thank you. It was driving me absolutely nuts looking at that CoverGirl, and the absolute second I opened up that retro one, I was like, yep, she's getting swapped post haste. So for those of you all who missed it, and I'm certainly not the first to do it, but here's what I did there, and it looks pretty solid. I mean, that's the two of them. Let me get the actual swap head so you can see what that looks like. Where do I have you? I actually have these photos in front of me, so I don't have to scurry around like I normally have to do on these. There you go. There's CoverGirl with a little too zoomed in. That's the retro head on the old body. And the old body was fine. No real complaints. But yeah, it's like this is such an improvement, and that head sculpt really works for a model. So there you go. Thank you, Ronnie. What up, Van Doom? What's up, Hustle SM? How are you tonight? Jebrew, 11 degrees here in Northeast Ohio. Yeah, I don't envy you either. It was cold to me. I wouldn't want to be any parts near 11 degrees right now. Georgia, yeah, what is it down there? Because, gosh, it was cold. So cold. Van Doom, it's time. It's time. It's those finger foul. Top. And to my main man, what it is. What it is, Van Doom. Ryan Daly. Today I got 2 extra Black Series indoor Rebel Troopers for half price. Where did you get them from? And man, I really wish they had come up with a different way to do some more faceplates because I really like the indoor troopers, but there's really no way to kind of create some more. And there's so many options with those Hoff troopers. Just like, oh yeah, I can make another one. So those are really fun. And with the indoor troops, it's like, well, I've got 2. I need some more though. Excuse me. What up, Lawson? If you hit the like button, your kindness will be appreciated. Absolutely. I appreciate each and every like. All about the villains. Yo. All about the villains. What character is this in your avatar? It's a really cool design. What's up, Dark Knight? Happy Friday Eve, Jeff and the Figure Files crew. Thank you. Hopefully your week is gone well as well, my friend. Henry G. Let's try that one more time. Henry G. What's going on, Jeff and my Figure Files crew? I hope you all are having a sensational week. It has been pretty spectacular and sensational. I've done some work. I've done some actual figure reviews. I'm not sure if you can see him, but I put Iceman up on the Mega Man shelf. And I'm realizing with his color scheme, you're not really ever going to be able to see him unless I maneuver him around a little bit more. And then, speaking of maneuvering it around a bit more, there's Metron. I don't know what I'm doing with this 80th row of McFarlane figures. It's wild because I didn't know I was ever going to have this many of this line. And I've got so many more to open up and put on the shelf. And it's just like, which shelf, dude? Where are you putting them? It's crazy. And opened up Cheetah too. So a lot to do on that end. Lawson, I got a McFarlane purple Batgirl in the mail today from Retro Robo. I pre-ordered from him, but someone tonight might just get a Batgirl from Retro for free. Alex is showing the love. Yes, that is going to be the case. What up, Steve? How are you tonight, man? Oh, well, there you go, Ryan. There's a customizer on Etsy selling indoor style helmets that work for the Hoff Trooper faceplates. Oh man, if you don't mind, send that along to me because yes, those figures are really fun, and I've got like so for all the rest of the Star Wars films, the original ones, I've got one shelf set up for the film, right? So I've got my Phantom Menace one, which is probably going to be my smallest one, though it could extend. My Attack the Clones one / Clone Wars is a little bit more complicated. I've got like 3 for them. But then for Star Wars, I've got one longer one, and that covers everything. Empire, I can kind of split it to a Hoth side, and then the Bespin / Dagobah side. Return, I've got to have my Jabba's palace because that whole opening act, and then the extra shelf I have, in half with like Emperor, Darth Vader facing off with Luke. And then I've got my indoor setup where I've got my speeder bikes, and I've got 3 of them, so pretty fun. And now, thanks to Ryan, I can get some more indoor troops in the mix. Hopefully, we get some more Ewoks. I would love for them to do like a 4-pack of Ewoks in the Black Series scale, so I can add to my army of stormtrooper killers to my collection there. Be nice. It's currently around 70. I wish it were 70. 27 degrees here. That's in Celsius, though. I said that wrong, but I knew. It was like, there's no way you can be at 27. Boo this man. What's up, Roddy Rouse? How are you tonight? Love that picture. Those are cool. Wish I could just do like a full on, but this actually lets me see some of those avatars, those really cool designs a little bit better. It's a play on on Lord Dracon from Power Rangers. Oh wow, that's a really complicated outfit for him. I was trying to see if I can find him. There he goes. My collection. There we go. That is a cool design though. What does that play? Interesting. What's up, Kwame Taylor? How are you, man? Good to see you. Oh, you got snow going there too? Wow. Now I'm a little bit envious. Can't go like I had the old Marvel Legends Black Widow on the gray outfit with the leather jacket and short hair. I used her head on the first cover girl body. Looks great. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people were just like, this cover girl head will not work. And there are so many options. Like I use one of the head sculpts from that amazing Black Widow. It's basically a masterpiece figure anyway. And I really like that, but I was like, I've got to paint her hair because it's not, doesn't quite work accurately. But oh man, this new one, the retro one, and then you can still use the hat head. It's great. So I'm really happy with this. Yeah, there you go. Lawson, I did the same thing. Harry G, speaking of retro robo, I need to ship some of this cargo. Yeah, yeah, same. Thank you for that breakdown, G Brew. And since you mentioned him, Henry G, he's not going to be here hanging out with us tonight, but uh, I will always make sure to share the good news about our friend Retro Robo Toys website, where you can make sure you can get those Build-A-Figure parts, take advantage of the cargo, much like Big Bad Toy Store. You can buy a bunch of stuff and then pay for it all. I mean, pay for the shipping. That way you don't have to keep paying back for every item and shipping. It's $5 flat rate, but you can make it simple, get a bunch of stuff and ship it all at once. And then you get rewards. So don't forget to take advantage of those. Let's see real fast what's new here. Lots of stuff. Wreck-Gar, Age of the Primes, Maximal Big Convoy, Age of the Primes, a lot of Transformer stuffs up here, including Brawl. So one step closer to building Bruticus. That Batgirl, one of you is going to get that figure today. Red Tornado, Blackfire, the Black Series, Shadows of the Empire style, Luke Skywalker in his Imperial Guard outfit, and Princess Leia as Boosh. And then let's see. There's new pre-orders. Yeah. There's Grizzly, Watto, and he only wants your money. Then we got Tom Wee. And Tom Wee is here. The Geonosian Warrior, and I grabbed a couple of those. I did my share of helping out Retro Robo because I was like, yes, all of these. And then we got the Page Punchers from the Flash, Page Puncher, Green Lantern, then the Astonishing Kitty and Colossus set, and then we got these three DC Multiverse Collector Edition figures: Cosmic Boy, Elongated Man, Professor Pig, and Black Hawk hanging out with John Cena. So it's the Blue Hat Gang chilling. So make sure to check him out. He's got a bunch of stuff. And of course, the pre-owned, where you can get really cool stuff for really cheap, reasonable prices. So there you go. Don't forget to hit this section up as well. So yeah, make sure to check out our buddy Retro Robo Toys. All about the villains. It's supposed to get to below freezing down here in Florida tonight. Whoa, really? Oh wow. What will y'all do? Lawson, I pre-ordered Grizzly from Retro Robo Toys today. Nice. Henry G, looking forward to Black Series this year. And great job on the top 10 list, Jeff. Doing the good work. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for watching them. Because they would just be sitting there if no one watched them. So thank you. And I still need to see about getting that Black Series one done. Henry G, I just bought Big Convoy and Amalgus Prime from Retro Robo. Nice. Blake, Jeff, which classified, excuse me, which classified did you say needed more faces? Aged faces. Shout out to anybody who understands that reference. I still need a better one for Lieutenant Falcon because I don't get the Night Force pack with Quarrel just because I'm like, we're using that body too much, and I have no connection to Quarrel whatsoever. But I still need a better. I want them to do a overhaul. There you go. in his overalls of Lieutenant Falcon for the retro line, so we can get just a better one. He's one of the real few lemons in the line where it's just like this figure just did not work. So I would love for them to take another crack at him. Maybe Destro too, because he's one where it's like the figure's fine, but he just needs to be a little bit bigger and a lot taller than Cobra Commander. Black Series, oh no, it's classified for sure. Brian P. Just waiting for Brawl to come into Retro Robos so he can ship him, Blast Off, and Wind Charger for my cargo. Well, good news. You can get Brawl right now. He's there. And then you pre-order the Page Puncher, Howlin' Berry figures this week too. Nice. King Collector. Lawson, I haven't had a black suit Black Widow since the Toy Biz one. I don't think I ever saw one in stores. Really? They had that retro wave with the Mary Jane head. And it was, I kept seeing her as Mary Jane, so it didn't work. She was basically my stand-in because I needed to have one, but it was, oh, well, I guess I'll just do this. Henry G. Hey, Jeff, does Retro Robo Toys ship chases for Multiverse? Yes. He orders them by the case. So he will have those chases in the mix. I think he said on last week's show, if you let him know if you want the chase. So I don't know how many cases of each figures, each wave he gets, but I'm sure he gets more than one. So, let him know. Currently 53 degrees in my part of Florida. Wow. That is wow. Oh, Blake, Jeff was saying the Indoor Trooper needed to come with more faceplate options. Thank you, Henry G. Hey, listen, man, look, they had some really cool figures in that Valor versus Venom lineup. And yes, faces would be cool. I always thought it was odd. And I was like, yes, why did the Joes not have a master disguise to counter Zartan and the Dreadnoks, or at least Baroness and Zorana? Yeah. Oh, come on now. Don't kid. You know you want that. Oh, he came with two faces. It's just so with the Hoff Trooper. Let me see if I can pull this up for y'all real fast. Let's do this. I'll show you because I was like, oh, I can do so many. And I might have gotten a little army builder happy with the Hoff Troopers. Let's see here if I have one with my full army of Hoff Troopers. So let me do this for you real fast. I'll pull this up. So this is the Hoff Trooper, and they had so many different configurations you could do with this. So there's this one with the bearded portrait and the goggles, and they have the scarf piece, so you could manufacture different looks for them. So you can have the goggles up, you can have the scarf there, you can have the scarf down, showing the beard. Then you have the plain one that you could lose the scarf. So there were a lot of things you could do. And then you got this option. Let me raise the goggles, and I have the scarf covering the mouth. A lot of stuff. And I thought I had a full on, so I have 5 of them now. So there's so many different ways you can configure this look. So, I mean, you got this with this hooded, the scarf up. Now, this is what they came with, which is the stuff of nightmares. You can put the faceplate in here, but it was really great. Well, there are so many different options you could do with it. And with the indoor troop, you just couldn't do that. And see, I wish I could do this better because this is when I got the figures. I probably would not use this because it looks like they're in the clouds in Cloud City as opposed to Hoth. But that's what I did then. So let me show you really quickly what was going on with those indoor troops. I feel like I need to just go. There you go. Rebel Commando. That's why I didn't find them fast enough. All right. So here is the Rebel Commando / the indoor trooper. So you got this. This is like I want to say the main. This is one of your 2 faceplate options. And so you see here, we got this one, which kind of makes him look like Mark Strong with his head sculpt. And then you could just swap that out. Now, there weren't a lot of options. So you got that 2 basic look for him. So I've got this, got here. So, but if you got a little creative and so you use this or use this or use this, well, I guess that wouldn't work, even though you could make it a little wider. You have those 2 options. So let me see here if I got 2 in this review. No, that'd be too easy. Gosh, why did I do it this way? So here is the plate for the Hoff Trooper, and you can see it won't fit in there, which would have been really helpful. That way I could have had 3 of those instead of 2. So then, you've got the option to take Han's jacket so you can come up with another look for him. So it was a lot of cool ways they could have done something different, but yeah, I remember what happened. They were, like, not on sale when I got it. Yes, that's what it was. That's why I only have 1 in the photo, but I do have 2 of them, and I would love to add some more. So now there's the option to do that. Kwame, I'm patiently waiting for Mattel, but I fully support y'all getting every figure y'all need before McFarlane ends. Yeah, I would love to see what Mattel figures are gonna look like. I feel like it's gonna take them a long time to get this, and that, and take yours down so you can see, like, they did a lot of work, and I know McFarlane did a ton of Batman stuff, but it looks like this rumored first wave is going to be slow, slow, slow. It's rumored to just be Batman, Robin, Flash, and Joker. At that rate, it's going to take them so long to get. I mean, I have 5 figures on this row. 5 on that row. It's going to take them a lot of years to catch up. Now, the word on the internet streets is we're going to get this first wave around July, and then the second one in September. Just from what that first wave is, I'm going to assume we're going to see Superman, maybe Lex Luthor. Who would be? Let's go with Green Lantern and maybe Superboy. That's gonna be it. And it's just gonna take so long if they go that route. And because the figures are gonna be more expensive, it's gonna be like, so what? What's that gonna be like $120 for 4 figures? Now Mattel is cheaper than what we're seeing from Hasbro. They haven't raised their prices as high. So maybe they'll be closer to 27, maybe even as low as 25. But they're gonna go up in price, and it's just gonna take so long for them to get like that variety, like Earth 2 Robin. Do we think we're gonna see him? Hopefully, we'll see the Justice Society. No promises, but there are a lot of characters, and if you can just kind of sort of see some of which we never got from Mattel with their first go round when they had more leeway to do bigger waves and had build a figures. So I'm hoping for the best and want to be pleasantly surprised, but I feel like I'm not wasting my time or money getting these McFarlane figures. Michael Solis. It's Lyle's Figure Files time. Oh, yeah, check your watch. What's up, Easy Reader? Ryan Daly. It does, but that limits you to just 2 variations, plus the Hawk Trooper also has 2 faceplates, but they're not compatible. There we go. DJ Jedi, my first Lyle's Figure Files in 26. Happy New Year, all. Happy New Year to you on the ones and twos. G-Brew. Speaking of McFarlane, where's Big Barda, Todd? G-Brew, how many McFarlane figures do you have? I'm curious. Nathan, I love some of the Valor versus Venom and Spy Troop stuff to get classified treatment. Yeah, they had some really cool figures, and yeah, I guess I was scouring through my little notepad, or so I did a scrapbook style, put the file cards in there. I don't have any of those figures now. I don't remember where I traded or sold them off to, but very fun designs. And I think classified up, so many of them will look great. So, I mean, I think it might be smart for Hasbro to start incorporating some of those characters in there before they finish up. I mean, clearly I'm on the hook for whatever they do, but for some people who might go, all right, I'm gonna be done once we finish up with 85 or 87. And I think there's still some cool designs that more collectors might be into that didn't get those Valor versus Venom looks when they first debuted. I hope Mattel does a Giganta figure. Snake Eyes, they did do one. She was a build a figure, but we don't even know if they're gonna do that. I mean, they are doing it with their WWE line, so it's not outside the question, but haven't seen that for Masters of the Universe, which might be a better comparison. I mean, the WWE line is their biggest action figure line, so we'll see what happens. Kwame, I can easily see Mattel's first wave being the practice run before they roll out multiple waves of figures. Kind of smart. It's interesting because I feel like they should come out as strong as possible. Because I think this is always the situation when you have a new line debuting, and if you kind of dip your toes in the water with it, it's like, well, maybe. And if that first wave is not great, there's hundreds of McFarlane figures that collector might decide to go track down instead. So I think they really need to come strong with this. Like, design the best possible Batman figure, the best possible Joker, Robin, and Flash, and call it a day. And let me see if I can find this quickly. This would be one of those. Good luck. Um, but let me try. Let's see how quickly I can track this down. I think I might be okay with this because I think I put this in my files, so it should be relatively easy to get. But I don't think they can have any issues because we've already had so many DC figure lines, and I think that's where Mattel might have a little bit of an uphill battle because there's some collectors like me that still have all of their DC classics figures. You got your DC icons, your DC Direct, your DC Essentials. There's so many of these particular characters. While you load, let me do this. And that's where I kind of feel like they're going to have the most trouble. Let me do DC Digital Superman, because that one is the one where I've got so many different Superman figures to kind of show you what's ahead of them in this whole. Let's see if we can make the best one. This is not all the Superman figures I have, clearly. But it just shows you what they're facing. So there's the DC Essentials one to the far left. There's the DC Direct one, their best version of just classic Superman. There's the McFarlane Superman right in the middle. There's the DC Icon Superman and one of several DC classic Superman figures. So there's been a ton, and it's just like, boy, can y'all make this work? Now I found what I was looking for, so I can safely not have to say I still haven't found it. It showed up in my search like I was hoping for. Now David Vonner did some designs, had them mocked out for his equivalent to Marvel Legends for DC. And just for those of you who haven't seen these before, now, of course, they're going to be like, no pins. But I feel like if we got that, this level of quality in a Batman figure, I think a lot of collectors will be like, straight. All you need to do is make it the same height as Marvel Legends. I'm happily on board. I want all of them. Again, these are the David Vonner prototypes for what he thought Mattel could do with their DC figure line. It was never in the works, not in production or anything, but I think they use this as the template. Get rid of the pins. And is there any more articulation that we need to see with this figure? Not really. Maybe that diaphragm where it has like the rotating torso or ball jointed torso for a little bit more lean to, and maybe a soft goods cape, because that should be something that should be the norm for, especially for DC figures, since McFarlane has been making that the norm for so long. But I feel like if that's what was shown right away, I think they'd be in business. And I guess maybe what we'll see is maybe we'll start to see him at Comic-Con. We'll see. All about the villains. Finally got pre-ordered LPZZ official license 112 Red Death Dark Knights metal action figure. Is that the first one you got, or is that one of the first ones they've shown? King Collector, I hope Todd does that classic DC Cyborg before he calls it quits. I never liked that heavy armor look. Me neither. He's one of the few that I don't have, and I like the character. I just don't like that design at all. All about the villains. Can't wait for that to come out. Should be an epic figure. Talking about the Dark Knights or Cyborg. Kwame, I can't do Valorverse based on principle. That whole crew has been controversial to say the least. Okay. Lawson, shout out to McFarlane Toys for not making it impossible to pre-order a Zatanna figure. You were worried, but yeah, no problem there. GB, I have Mr. Miracle, Darkseid, Starfire, and Hawkgirl. I used to have more, but my niece and a buddy of mine wanted them more than me. I also have the Zatanna pre-order. cool. Ryan, I hope Mattel makes the Seven Soldiers of Victory and only the Seven Soldiers of Victory. Same characters updated every year with their improved articulation. I feel like that might not happen right away. King Elector. I still got my DCC Giganta. I've been thinking about updating her body, which is a little too skinny. That was a big time thorn in the side of those DC Classics figures. There's no female figure that has any size to them whatsoever. They're all so small and slender and skinny. It's just like, yo, y'all could have just varied up the body types a little bit, but they've all got those super twig arms. It's like, what's happening? At least a little bit better, but whew, yeah, a Giganta. I mean, she needed to be a giant and look the part. It's just like, what's happening? Now, McFarlane has given us some really gigantic size female figures. They're just not in scale. At least Power Girl, Hawk Girl, and Dirty Diana. Let's see. I've seen that Deathstroke. He looks pretty cool. What's up, Art Facto 25? Another cool avatar there. I love your videos. Greetings from Mexico. How are you, my friend? And how is the weather in Mexico? Hopefully it's warmer than it is here. G Brew, I bought more McFarlane DC figures than I presently own. Most of the characters. I wonder new guys, female characters that Todd hadn't made yet. And they sold out super fast and I never even seen them. It seems like maybe you don't. Maybe your better hope is for Mattel to do them, because if you don't have that many, I don't know if worrying about what McFarlane is going to do is going to work out. And if you don't, I would totally recommend getting that DC Direct Big Barda. She is a really good figure. She doesn't have a ton of articulation, but she looks the part. What's up, Olu? How are you tonight? Maurice, we won't be getting collector class figures until 2027. They'll be starting off with the kitty oriented stuff later this year. So there you go. Still more time to get that big barter for you, G Brew. King Elector, I still like that DC Direct one. That one still is good. She does, and she looks so Jack Kirby, which was awesome. That was like, this line is so much fun. Lost on my last count. I had over 200 DC Multiverse figures. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to count all of them right now, but let's see. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so right here is like, I mean, we're almost at 20 there. So I may not have 200, but it's pretty, actually, I might have closer to 150. Excuse me. Pagrat. Maurice, those are some sweet prototypes. Yeah. I mean, what's crazy is how they were made a long time ago, but they still look like they'd hold up. There's just a few tweaks that can be made now, thanks to the advancements in articulation with regular figures, in mass market. It's not, because I don't think it's fair to go, well, doesn't have the articulation of a Mafex or Figure Arts or any of these cool new import lines. That's what we're getting from Marvel Legends, what we're getting from McFarlane. So I think they could do it. It's just a matter of when and how fast they'll get to them, because the time is running out to get those really cool figures. All about the villains. I'm staying away from Mattel DC until I see if it's worth it, because my collection of McFarlane is large. How many figures do you have from McFarlane? All about the villains. Maurice, ball joint at the chest and another at the waist would be great. Yeah, that I think is, we can see that more consistently. I think that's the next scale, the next step in perfecting that figure articulation for us. What's up, Pixelated Poses? What's up, everyone? They made 112 scale that work with Marvel Legends, then they might even take sales from some imports. There are lots of figures I need. Good enough, not perfect. That is so true. Like, I'm seeing some of these new like LPZZ, Gong Studio, DC figures. I'm like, that's pretty good. I don't know if I need all that, but yeah, I'm with you. And good enough can really just be, can you hit some of the iconic poses on my shelf when I'm taking pictures of the figures going against somebody? Like, can my Batman slug out Riddler and do a sidekick to Two-Face without looking silly in that pose. All the other villains. LBZZ has Batman Who Laughs, but I haven't ordered it yet. But I got Red Death ordered going in on that line. Red Death is up for pre-order on 5K Toys right now. Nice. Lawson, Hawkman, Silver Age, Bronze Age Hawkman. No long hair, right costume details, please. Also want a Golden Age Hawkman. Yes, my Justice League needs him. And I also need a JSA Hawkman. It's the design they went with for Hawkman is just like, this doesn't help me at all for my wish list of Hawkman. But yeah, him. Now we got Black Canary. It's like, all right, we're probably not going to get a silver Bronze Age version of her. Any Green Arrow, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, and those are the key. I mean, we got Elongated Man coming. That's exciting. Zatanna is coming, not in her satellite era costume, but it's, what are you gonna do? But yeah, there's a few more that I'm really hoping we see. So still got a little bit more time. Oh, I understand. I I remember those days of like, I can't fit all these figures on the shelves, and I need to get rid of some of the ones I have now. Excuse me. Henry G. I got the LPZZ Arkham Knight Batman. It's a good one. The problem I'm having with these new companies is the figures are good on their own, but scaling seems like it's going to be an issue. Pet peeve for me, seems like everyone has their own interpretation of 112 scale. So does he not work with the other LPZZ figures, or just like other Batmans from other companies? DJ Jedi. Speaking of Toddy Mac, my update is Static 94 just arrived a few days ago. All right, let's do some show and tell. So, just a few minutes before the show started, my Wonder Twin powers can be fully activated because Zan came through. He looks solid too. I really don't understand the wrench. Where is my bucket of water? So that's cool. I'm going to show them off really soon. I got this Eric Bischoff figure from the Monday Night Wars. I don't know if I'm going to paint his hair black or if I want to go with older era GM of Raw. Eric Bischoff, wild story. So I got a gift card and I used it to get a figure that I'd already bought. I was like, you dummy. I returned the figure, did all this stuff, and I was like, why is the money not showing back up on my account? And it was this whole big debacle. And I was like, what's up with this thing? Walmart, you're letting me down. And then I was like, oh no. It was a gift card. So I've long since tossed it. But this really, really nice Walmart associate was like, here, I'm going to make this thing work for you. And she did. So it was awesome. And I used it to get that Eric Bischoff figure. So that was exciting. With the reveal of Watto, I finally went to one of my few existing GameStops and got this guy to yoke up Gungan Jar Jar Binks Sebulba. That's pretty cool. He was one of my favorite ones of those bad guys. Plus, the price isn't bad. It's like kind of a flashback. There we go. And so I have my membership. Take him under $20. Buying a Star Wars figure in 2026 for less than $20 felt like a big win without having to go to Ross. And then the McFarlane train, come on, ride it. Woo, woo. Got this guy. And I'm so excited to replace that one. Not that it's a bad figure, but this is classic superpower style Red Tornado for me. The colors look awesome. Soft goods cape. So it can be done. And then finally, Static. Don't sweat the technique. Oh, this is exciting. I have to find that trench coat for him, but that's pretty cool. The scale is going to be completely inaccurate, but it's whatever. I'm going to have them on those hubcaps, the manhole covers, call it a day. Just hyped and excited to have Static. It is classic look. We got that DC Icons one, and I was like, well, this is going to be the only one I ever get. So to get that from McFarlane was very exciting. Cool stuff. DJ Jedi, what do you think about your Static figure? Lawson. McFarlane's done some massive figures like Calabac, Bane, Swamp Thing, Clayface, Solomon Grundy, Man Bat, etc. I do still need to get a Bane. Clayface. Which Clayface are you using? The one that was in that 3-pack with Batwoman and Batman didn't do much for me. Solomon Grundy, same deal. I know you fixed yours, Yeah, so I want to track down a Bane and get Man Bat, and I do have a Calabac. Start that. Blake says, before the line ends, I would love a classic cyborg like the King of Collectors mentioned. Robin 66 to go with Batman, General Zod. Just General Zod. I need all three of the Phantom Zone villains. Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, and Big Barda. I'm right there with you, Lawson. Kwame. That All Striker turned out a lot better than expected. Yeah, I was reading reviews and people were acting like the roll bar was such a problem. It does not stay all the way in, but if the little dab of glue, it can stay in there a little bit better. And you kind of need it to not be so flimsy that you can't move it out as you want to move Joe's in there. So I was happy with it. I wish they had that cannon though. That's the one thing I would have changed. Cyber the Great. What's going on? What's up, everybody? I almost forgot about the stream. Oh no, fire my marketing manager. Let's make sure everybody knows. Every Thursday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll be here doing live streams unless something catastrophic happens. And I don't anticipate that. So see you next Thursday. Yeah, we are glad you made it. Cyber the Great. Bremo. What's up, Bremo? Definitely want a Linda Carter Wonder Woman and Classic Titans. Oh gosh, yes. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that is one of the more important groups that we don't tend to get represented really well in action figure form. Like DC Direct, they were kind of hodgepodge, not even in the same style. Definitely didn't get that with the DC Classics figures because Kid Flash was like tiny Kid Flash and Wonder Girl's too slender. We didn't get Changeling, even though we got several versions of Beast Boy. No Jericho, no Terra. It's like, gosh, and Starfire was in her modern attire. It's like, and then we get classic Nightwing. We did have Robin, but it was like, come on, guys. That was one of the biggest disappointments for me with DC Classics because the Teen Titans at one point were as big as X-Men, and I guess like nobody cares about them, even though they've got a TV show. Kwame, that's always the tough part of changing license holders, risking starting over. I did not regret doing that with my Jax wrestling collection and going to Mattel with their WWE stuff. That was a great call. But yeah, some of the other ones, like, oh man, I backed the wrong horse. I bought a Betamax. Yeah, Blake, classic Cyborg. I would even like a new 52 Cyborg. I'm not sure what his look is since Rebirth. I think Cyborg's look is fairly consistent. Let me pull that up really quickly for you. Let me see. Let me do Titans. I think that's what it is. If they haven't canceled that book again yet. Let's see. Oh, yep. There's a new Teen Titans roster. They change Titans up so often. It is frustrating. So the new team will be Superboy, spoiler, Wonder Girl, and Terra. Oh boy. Gosh, they just refuse. It's so hard to get invested with some of the stuff with DC because they keep changing it all of the time. Let me see here. I'm trying to find here. This is a good look at what Cyborg's outfit looks like now. Yeah, it's just one of those things where they can't settle on something. Here is Cyborg's outfit, and it's just the George Perez original version was great. I feel like he's wearing. It makes him look like he's just wearing a superhero outfit, and for Cyborg, it's okay to just show more flesh because you get the whole point of him being a cyborg. Other stuff just doesn't really work. Anyway, all right, so back to the chat. All about the villains. Too many McFarlane to count. Plus, I have almost every vehicle from McFarlane as well. Only missing like 2. Wow, that's impressive. Are you primarily collecting this? Because I feel like that would take up a lot of shelf space. G Brew. I think the reason I'm not super deep into McFarlane stuff is that I'm not a big Batman fan at all. I like him fine, but he doesn't speak to me the same way as other characters do. Yeah, well that could do it, but he's done a pretty good job with the rest of the characters, those that he does. King of Lightner, Todd still needs to do a proper 80s Brainiac and Lex Luthor. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous that, and they don't have the bad guys on the back of this, but the classic Lex from Super Friends hasn't been made into the standard scale yet. It's a tongue twister. All about the villains. After Zatanna comes out, the only character we're missing for Dark Justice League is Madame Xanadu. It's pretty cool. I like when we get teams completed, and that's a wild one to see almost completed. Here, G, well, I'm waiting for the LPZZ Arkham Knight Deathstroke, so I'll reserve judgment till I get that one. But then our Arkham Origins Batman is towering over the Dark Knight Rises Batman. I know the media they're based on is different, but they're both branded as 112. That's weird. Yeah. Sorry for the grape. I'd love to see McFarlane do a Fortress of Solitude, Batcave, Watchtower, and Hall of Justice for 7-inch, but man, would it be overpriced. I mean, he does do those crowdfunding efforts, so I wonder which would be most likely. Maybe the Batcave. I guess the Fortress of Solitude, because we don't need to see a whole lot more than like his Crystal Station, which I guess they could make. Hall of Justice might be a little tricky. And definitely the Watchtower. Henry G, yeah, Jeff Static is a winner. I want to say Calibac isn't super expensive. He just kind of randomly showed up at a Target like during the holidays. So there you go. Let's see. Trying to see. Yeah, I mean, he is available. Whoops. Right this moment for an Amazon for 4302. So not a terrible price. I mean, he's a mega fig. And what is that? It's cheaper than some of the G.I. Joe Deluxe figures. So, it's not like, oh, what a ripoff. And he's a cool figure. I don't think you'd regret paying that price for him. Let's see if Entertainment Earth has them. They do not. And what about Big Bad Toy Store? Do they have them? They have him for 41. So, I mean, you don't have to regret it. You can actually get him still without too much trouble. King Elector. I'm sorry. I took this nasal spray because I was so congested. And of course, now it's like drip, drip, drip. So much pain. King Elector. I hope GameStop makes a comeback. For a while, they were doing a good job getting figures in store. I mean, all of the ones that I've been going to, I had a really good selection of figures. It's just they're closing down the stores at a rapid rate. And it's like, no. So hopefully just the ones they have in won't close down. I'm going to have to start driving and making a real dedicated effort to go to GameStop. That was one of the few things that were like, great, I can go to the mall and at least get something from GameStop. Because if the GameStop at the mall's all closed, then why am I going to the mall? Because I need an Annie Ann's pretzel. Rick Cage. Hola. Sorry, I was just arriving. I was on patrol. What did I miss? So much stuff. Maurice. Pickups. Gargoyles. Hudson, Brooklyn, and Retro Beachhead. Thanks, David Thanos. Gold Hilder. Sporty Girl Yo-Yo. Mendokus. The Thrashing. I'm sure I'd butcher that. And the Mad Love 2-pack and Mr. Terrific from the massive giveaway. Nice. Bro Shot. Co-signing with the Phantom Zone trio. I gotta get a picture for you so you're not just the faceless J there. How are you, bro? David Thanos, what's up, y'all? The streak continues. Doesn't stop. Jibaru, my little GameStop seems to be pivoting mostly to figures, statues, and trading cards. It's busy on average than most of the other GameStops in my area. Yeah. I mean, because, gosh, when was the last time you bought games from GameStop? Lawson, next Thursday, I'll be home alone on my birthday, Jeff. That was poor time with the read. Wife will be away at a conference in San Diego. I hope we'll have a Laos Favorite Files chat next Thursday because I'm going to need something to look forward to. Lock it in. We will be here Thursday. We'll see you there. Vin Doom picked up the Beast Kingdom composite Superman, and my static showed up too. Oh, also got Super Friends Brainiac from Walmart, $19. Nice. Yeah, I need to. I have a slow burn McFarlane Super Friends collection. I think I'm gonna have the Wonder Twins be the first ones that I open. But I have Lex Luthor and I have Riddler, so I kind of need some more heroes because I don't think the Wonder Twins can stop Lex Luthor and Riddler. Brad P. Reels. Did anyone take advantage of the 20% off Transformers at Target? I can only find Beast Wars Quick Strike and Blast Off. Still looking for Sure Shot. Nice and smooth. Sorry. I saw them. I did not. There was nothing that I wanted, but I was like, oh man, this is cool. Just nothing. Pixelated Poses. Cyborg is also on the latest issue of DCKO, which I still need to read. Thank you. Tom Finn. Yeah, man. Beta was so much better. And I was like, oops, there you go. Ryan Daly. I like Alex Ross. I don't acknowledge the existence of any costume design after 1981. He was really like, nope, don't see it. David Thanos, give me a retro card, Major Blood, and some Pencil and Snow Job and some Ultimate Chris Jericho. Which version of Jericho do you want to see? Because he's so many looks for him. That cyborg look is boring. Yes, Lawson. It's like he's one where they either overly design him or it's just too generic. There's just no middle ground there. King Collector. A few GameStops are closing around here. Not in my city, but my neighboring cities are losing theirs. Yeah, it is. It's getting rough out there for GameStops. Michael Solis. That cyborg looks like a mix of the 2000s and the classic look. Like 2000. Taller than a butter knife. DC Multiverse and Jajo Classified are my mains. Nice. Those are two big collections, though, if you're getting a bunch of them. Lawson. I think we are supposed to be getting a better or more classic looking head sculpt for Shazam. David Thanos. Shout out to Pixelated Poses who sent me the cable in the Sunfire. Yeah, it's just right. You're just chilling in the background. King of Letters still got my DC Direct Teen Titan Cyborg, which looks good, but he is kind of small. That's that one and the Raven figure are Nevermore. Are the best ones from those DC Direct ones. They look really good, but they are small now. Oh, here's your first one. Nice. There we go. Sparing your ears, all of that. Lefty, finger foulers, assemble. Sorry, I was late to the party. It's all good. Did you bring the chips though? Hey, Jeff, how much do you think Lord Starkiller is going to be? He's at Alexa, so probably 35. And then if you wait till this year around December, you might be able to pick him up for $10 at RossCon. Oh, GameStop was good because you pay for pre-orders up front. That is a good thing to do. Oh, yes. I actually have your birthdays on my calendar. My Wonder Twins were delivered today. Gonna have to get waves 2 and 3 now. Right. It's like, because it was, I was like, yeah, it's fine. That's fine. They're kind of cool. But now that I got both the Wonder Twins, it's like, all right, you got me. I guess I'm gonna go all in with this thing. Right, exactly. I wasn't gonna get them if I couldn't get the twins. And twins. Twin Titans. You know. Robert, what's happening, captains? Hope you're good, Jeff. I will not complain, Robert. How are you, my friend? Henry G, I was gonna buy a second Budo so I can have both looks, but thanks for the idea to use a figure that has a retro release. That Budo figure is a banger. Really liking that Desert Scorpion too. They're like amazing, and those are figures a little bit later on in the line, so they're still really fun designs. That once they get classified up, it's amazing stuff there. Rick H, I did a dash through Target and saw Knuckles and Superman. I like that Jack Specific does DC too, but that new 52 isn't my Superman. Pass. I thought he had trunks. Is it DC X Sonic? I think those are really fun figures. Knuckles. And I saw there we go. That is so wild. No Trunks. It is DC 52. Well, it's like that weird hybrid where they weren't quite sure what they wanted to do with the Trunks. I saw John Stewart finally, Rick Cage, and he looks really fun too. So this is one that I have somehow convinced myself, yeah, it's fine. You can get these figures. It's okay. But these DC ones look really good. Like all of them have really impressed me. Like they've got a ton of articulation. And it's $19 for them. I don't really have any use for the Sonic characters. I just thought these figures would be kind of fun to add to the collection. And, you know, never heard a bad idea as a collector. So it's like, yeah, I'll buy them too. Where are you putting them? I don't know. No idea. But they look good. Lawson. Speaking of Cyborg, I finally got the McFarlane Superpower Cyborg this week. Took me a while to get him, but I finally found one. Where'd you find him? Nice. David Thanos. I'm falling down the hole now of Super 7 hip hop figures at Ross. Which ones did you get? Is the Desert Scorpion in the vintage line or was it created for classified? Yes. Wait, that didn't answer your question. I said yes. Retro line. Actually, I said that. No, he was part of the retro line. 91. So he wasn't that far off. They just really, really, really classified him up. So it's like, oh yes, that is sort of the same figure. This is what he looks like from back in the day. Back in the day. And you see he's got his tinier Scorpion. Now the 91 line was overall not one of the best ones. There's some cool figures in here, but yeah, it's okay, whatever with that. There's Scorpion. And they also gave us a Scorpion. Oh yeah, the Sand Scorpion. Thank you, friends over at 3D Joe's. As you can see, lots of cool stuff with this design. It's like, wow, what a fun figure. And just cool stuff. But since they mentioned it, let's go to the Sand Scorpion figure, which is very cool. And these were really cool. Shout out to the yojoe.com crew. These were cool. This is part of the Valor versus Venom setup. And I said there are some really fun variations and new characters. So hopefully we'll see them coming in a classified soon. All about the villains. Excuse me. On Facebook, I saw some posts for classified target clearance for Law and Order and a few other deluxe for like $10 each. Which were the other deluxes you saw? I saw a peg, a sticker for Law and Order for $15. None of them were there. My buddies in my figure text thread did say that they are showed a picture of. I think I can get this one to everyone easily enough. And then I realized how much we talk about figures every day, which is a lot. Good grief. I thought I could find this easily. I was so confident. I'm like, ha. Of course, I can't see it. And anyway, that heavy duty for $10. But I haven't seen any other deluxes. All I've seen, and I did a short from a walkthrough. Was it just yesterday at Target? And they've revamped the figure aisle. It's so tiny and small. It's like, what are we doing here? I'm not a huge fan of it because it looks like it's just, I guess it's the same amount of shelf space, but it's just done in this kind of Tetris block style. Not a fan. Dark Knight, the DC Rebirth version of Cyborg from 2016 is favorite design. I have 2 DC icon figures of him. I think that one's pretty solid. G-Bro, I got that Jack specific Wonder Woman. I don't know what happened to the Sonic character, but I really like the Wonder Woman. Yeah, like all of them that I've seen have been really fun. So, and it wasn't until I saw the second wave that I was like, let me go back and get those first ones because I had them in hand. And was like, oh, I think so. And I was like, what are you gonna do with just these 3? Now that I see they're committed to it, hopefully they get some villains out there for us too. Maurice definitely like the classified Desert Scorpion. It is great. DJ Jedi, a lot of birthdays coming up. Mine's Tuesday. Yours is Tuesday as well. Wow, that is a Bunch of birthdays coming up. Wow, Lefty, I found a G.I. Joe Legacy Police Officer at Walmart for 20. That's a price I'd jump on several of them for. I mean, G, I gave my Justice League Sonic figures to my grandson. He loves Sonic, and I recently got him to comics. I gave the Crisis on Infinite Earths trade for Christmas, so he's becoming a big DC fan. And traumatic, too, right? Excuse me. Oh, they do they? Let's see what's going on over there. They will randomly have some really good deals out there for us. Let's see. Good grief. All right. Now, this is funny because it's like, wow, what's even happening with this? Hmm, so funny. Yeah. So over on the site right now, or Walmart.com, a really good deal. Even better than the one I showed y'all before. Not these. Because I've seen this classified Night Force set for, I want to say as low as 30. Definitely not the Ghost Viper at $87.99. Check this out. Jody Shooter Craig is $5. I mean, it's like, just take the figure, please. And for a minute, she was $10, and then she was back up to regular price. I think she went back up as high as 27. Now, for $5, if you don't have this figure, if you get it for $5 and don't like it, please let me know, because this is a good figure. Oh, Dr. Mindbender, $18. It's not bad. We know why that's more expensive. That's a Target exclusive set. $70. Not a bad discount there. Anything else? 119 still. I mean, gosh, that's the sale price. It was 148. Crimson Bat. Anything else cool? 28, 25. Not one, not two. 24. Okay, so good stuff. Not a bad deal to kind of keep checking them out for their deals. The card art for Outcast is pretty cool, and that seems like a good idea to go with that. I mean, it's just a synergy between the two brands. And guys, nothing too complicated than that. Rick Cage, my fix anybody other than Mac doing DC is fun. Green Lantern and Diana is a buy. I'm looking for those two, G Brew and Jeff. Check their website if you're not seeing them in your stores. But when I went earlier this week, they had all three of them. John Stewart was the one short pack. They had like two Flash, two Wonder Woman, which is surprising because guys don't buy girls. And one John Stewart. Maybe he sold out first. David Thanos would love to see, and I said sold out. I mean, maybe one of his already sold. David Thanos would love to see Raw debut Chris Jericho in Ultimate Form with the silver jacket. He's got so many hairstyles, so many looks. I wonder if that would be a defining moment, which they already did, didn't they? Lefty, it was hard to fight out the temptation to get the DC Sonic figures. The multi-pack with Darkseid is awesome. Yeah, I'm waiting for the next sale. And when that hits, I'm going to get that one. Here, G, I have to say thanks to David Thanos one more time for the Ross Con hookup. Such a great haul. Thanks, buddy. Nice. When is yours, G Brew? Vin Doom. I just recently seen the Tribe Called Quest figures they're coming out with. Really? Is it a 4-pack or 3-pack? Oh, nice. So you found him out in the wild. That's cool. King Electra Jody Shooter's a must-have. Get her, y'all, especially at that price. Absolutely. Lefty. Shooter's an amazing figure. $5 is a steal. Yes. He's actually a great dentist, not just a scientist. David Thanos. I did see those Child Called Quest ones, but I'm going to wait when they hit Ross. Oh, wow. I didn't even know they had those. Pixelated poses. Didn't want to shoot her until she was in the Skybound G.I. Joe. Refuse, because I hate when people spoil stuff. But I hope you all have been reading G.I. Joe since the start, not the Real American Hero one. I'm talking about the G.I. Joe that had issue 17 come out this week. Yeah. And You really needed to have read from the start with Duke and Cobra Commander. This the end of Dreadnought War to really land. But it was amazing, and I am so excited. Next issue is another Night Force, and Roadblock may or may not join the team. I'm really excited about that. Brian P. Reels, added my birthday to the mix. It was last week. What day? I'm trying to remember these. So if you tell me, I can write it down. Oh, that's cool. All four. Right, Lefty. When I bought her, she was $10 at Walmart. Yeah, that's a great price too. I didn't feel bad paying whatever the price, full price was at that point. She's a really good figure, and especially if you can get her for cheap. Jibru, February 21st. Nice. All right, let's see here. So it's 9/11. Let me see. Is there anything else? Oh, so I mentioned this earlier, but let's just go into the stuff that came out this week, starting with Marvel Legends, because there wasn't a whole bunch on that front. Grizzly is up. You can also get them from Retro Robo Toys. This is basically the Ursa Major with a new head sculpt. I'm still trying to figure out a way they could have done this better, but I guess this is just what makes the most sense. To try to go, here is some value for all of you who did not get the Build-A-Figure or want to get this. It gave us some gold bars, a duffel bag, and a solo gold bar, some new hands, and a new head sculpt for Ursa Major, which is pretty good. It's just one of those deals where it's like, yeah, I will see you all when this hits a sale, because this is one where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be fine either way. I don't have to have Grizzly. It's cool, but I will see him on a sale. So we'll see on that deal. Let's go to the drop zone. See what else is coming out for our friends in Entertainment Earth. So we got these guys. Night of the Seven Kingdoms television show premiere. Oh, I didn't realize they did that too. All right, so we got some new Mattel drops on Tuesday. Super 7, Mezco, Saturday Night main events. Yeah, they're throwing me off with this. And then January 22nd, I'm blanking on what this is. I don't remember there being another live stream announcement, but it's got to be something, because I don't remember what the pre-order is for next week. January 8th, Brian P. Thank you. And King Collector, you got to get on this G.I. Joe. But start with Duke, read Cobra Commander, then read Destro. For now, you don't need to read Scarlet. Nothing has happened in that book that's played out to any extent at all in the main book. They're saying it will, but we haven't seen anything yet. So, but yeah, check those books out and try to stay as far away from spoilers as you possibly can. Also, if you do indulge, go read Transformers too, so that way you can get the full story. Waiting on Super 7 to finish making all the Wu-Tang Clan on reaction cards. Tribe Called Quest, the 4-pack. I got Jerobi. I jumped at it on Big Bad Toy Store. Recently got an MF Doom and Jay Dilla on a sale with Super 7. Cool, Lefty. Rick Cage, building a Legion of Doom in 2 lines, 1 multiverse, 2 super friends to add to my DCUC. DC Direct, truly, there's a multiverse, Mr. Strange. Probably. Jalen, I keep looking at that Grizzly figure and thinking about how I can turn him into a comic. M'Baku, Manny. And I'm trying to think then, because he's got like the bare chest kind of deal with his costume. And which would you have him? Would you have him with his legs showing, or just the full on ape outfit? And he's just kind of peeking his head through. I guess you got to get the loincloth for him there too. Lots of different ways to go with him. Let's see. Is there anything else on the release front? Not really. Okay, so that's great. Let's do this. Grizzly is the next wrestler turned villain from Amazing Spider-Man, who first appeared in issue 139 in 1974. Peggy Lawson. Bribey, full-on ape pelt outfit. Let me see here. Speaking of Man-Ape, did anybody see the trailer for the latest trailer for Avengers Doomsday? What happens when I'm trying to talk too much? And then trying to find photos while I'm doing this. All right, so here is one option for M'Baku. I guess that would work kind of easily enough with this. I guess so. I was thinking maybe that'd be a little bit too complex, but I guess if you just sculpted the head and then you throw on this like necklace of bones, that could work. Maybe so. Yeah, it looks interesting. And then there's the other one, which, and it's kind of like this thing of like, which way would they go with it? Which way do they think people would be less offended? And would they ever do it? That, of course, is the real question. Is there any way possible they would give us this in figure form? Hmm. Now, trying to see if there's like some possible way to make that work. Oh, here we go. Maybe this will work. This is not high quality, of course, but gives you an idea of the look. I feel like this one is a little bit more super villainy. So, what do y'all think? Would this one make more sense? I don't know. I just like maybe it's never going to happen. We'll see. Lefty, 53 watching and 31 likes. Let's smash like button, y'all. Thank you. Doc Avenger, what's going on, Doc? I wish I could have given the MCU M'Baku a gorilla mask. I would have called it a day and been happy. I feel like the whole white gorilla aspect of it is what makes his outfit look so unique. And I don't know. Just find some white paint and call it a day there. I'm with you. Let's see here. So let's go to the topic of the night. So I know maybe some of us have come up with some resolutions. I'm going to do this better. I'm going to do this thing. I want to focus on this deal. And I want to hear from you all. What are some of your figure resolutions? Are there, I'm going to focus on only 6 lines in 2026, or I'm going to stop collecting XYZ lines altogether, or I'm going to start picking up some more import figures because I really like what they're doing, or I'm going to check out some comic books. And I'm going to get me more focused, more into some of these figures. Like I think Pixelated Poses said about Jody Shooter Craig. Nice. That's cool. Glad to see that. Check them out. Big Head Studios. There we go. I had my phone upturned, which I was getting all the text alerts. Like, stop it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you hitting that button. DMPCD. Robert, apologies. I usually hit like when I walk in, but forgot. It's all good. I mean, thank y'all for watching. The likes are, they're fine to me. But y'all watching, commenting on the chat is what's cool. So, like, what are some things with figures you're like, nah, I can't keep doing this anymore? And then after you all tell me some of those, or if you want to just start off with this, what do you think are some resolutions, some of the companies that make these figures that you buy? What should they be doing? So I'll give you 2 of mine. So for me, I want to get caught up on the figure reviews that I've got stacked over on the side before buying a whole bunch of other figures. That's not working out as well as I've wanted. And we're January 15th, that resolution might already be like, good luck. But I'm working on it. Excuse me. The other one is I think I want to start exploring a few import companies for some of these figures outside of Mayflex in Storm Arena, Storm Collectibles. There's so many options coming all at once, and I'm like, where do I go? So I'm going to do a little research and figure out what are some of these companies that are doing cool stuff that I might want to indulge in a figure or two for them. So let me see what y'all are saying. DJ Jedi, I caught the Super 7 Dylan 2 versions of MF Doom. I need them to put out a Lord Quace to round out my GOAT producer trilogy on the shelf. Nice. Ryan Daly. Resolution. Do not get sucked into buying Studio Series Soundwave, Thundercracker, Skyward, and Starscream. Yeah, I've already got Soundwave through Retro Robo. Thundercracker, ditto. So whenever we get the Skywarp and Starscream, I think what I'm going to do with them, though, is I'm going to just keep them in their cartoon transform mode and then use these, what were they called? The War for Cybertron, Earthrise versions of the jets. I'm just gonna have them in jet mode because their transformations. I'm just lazy, so I'll just keep them in their jet modes or seeker modes all the time. Gibra, I'm going to try to be less distracted by shiny objects in 2026. Always good plan. All about the villains. I want to get all the absolute comics that have already come out and the rest to come out. Those are fun. So yeah, you won't regret that. Dog Avenger. Stop with the constant repeat of figures. I may have to start unloading stuff. Yeah, that's tricky because that's a Star Wars thing or the Malibu Stacy thing where it's like, man, but this is so much better. She's got a hat. And sometimes these enhancements are like iPhones. Yeah, it's not enough for me to get this new upgrade. And then there's one where it's like, oh, that's good. I gotta buy this one. And I don't have my most recent Spider-Man. He's several iterations back. He still has pins. So I need to get a classic Spider-Man. But they make so many. I'm just like, I'll wait for the next one. So we'll see when I get that. But yeah, it's crazy stuff. Maurice, resolution. No pre-orders except for exclusives or suspected limited stock. That's a great idea. Because man, it's rough. Speaking of rough, my throat is just going wild. Saw that stuff from the nose trimming down. Fun stuff. Now, guys, I wish Figure Arts would do soft goods. I thought they did. Paisley poses. I resolved to open more of my unopened figures. I'm right there with you. It's insane. I'm just gonna use the excuse that it's because I'm so backlogged in my reviews, but I feel like that's not it. Blake, everyone would like for you to do the X Factor Part 2 video, but perhaps it doesn't need it. No, it does need it. It absolutely does need it. So I won't do it over the weekend. What really happened? I was rolling through the issues just to kind of like, oh yeah, this is what happened. This is what happened here. And then I got distracted by other stuff and I should have just done it while I was reading through it. So kind of got to do a casual, really light reread as I'm kind of just going through writing my list. There's a weird part like right after the Mutant Massacre where nothing is happening in terms of a figure. Oh, I want to get these figures. And it's kind of like, well, how far do I go with this? Because there's the fallout from all the mutants to or Mutant Massacre to what do we have next? No, I was right. Mutant Massacre to Fall of the Mutants. But I kind of feel like I should just go to Inferno because I think with Inferno, that's a good point to break on X Factor and go to another one. But it's just a lot of issues to try to condense and do. So, yes, I will get this knocked out this year. Hopefully, before the first half of the year is over. Too late for me with Soundwave. Pack Rat imports not included in that. No pre-orders resolution. Makes sense. Brian Daily resolution: get no more than 2 Operation Monster Force per month, maybe 3, 4 the most. So I take it you're enjoying the ones you do have. Jibru, Hasbro Marvel Legends, cloth, wired capes, more accessories, new energy effects. It's too far. The Enchantress has a new energy effect. We got that big trail of lightning for Storm. So they're actually doing that one. I'm with you though. They need cloth wired capes. Dog Avenger. I've only ordered Cassandra Nova and Grizzly. That's it. Even though there's some Monster Force stuff. What's the Monster Force stuff you're looking at? Oh, that's right. You're off to the fight. Have a good fight. And hopefully you can meet up with any of the gang from NYC up there. Take care, my friend. Now with new hat. I mean, this is what they get us. Oh, Jalen, man. We need to put those in there to help everybody out because those books are awesome and great. And I cannot stress how good those series are because they're just so good. And I feel like once you get into those, you'll be all good. Let's see here. That's a G.I. Joe trade. Yeah. There you go. So let's do this. And then I started putting up Prince Harry stuff. But let's see. Let's try this dude with the Skybound. Ugh, okay. Well, there we go. I'll say Energon Universe. Oh boy. Okay, that didn't work. But yes, those are great books. Read them, please. 3 cheers indeed. Rick Cage. Jeff, I was just telling Retro Robo my goal is to follow up and follow through. Laser focusing on finishing up Swarm Tracer troops, Knights and SC troops from 4H, then tackle Monster Force, finish Thundercats. Oh, nice. Doc Avenger had to stop myself from jumping on Scooby Doo. Oh, that's right. I need to get those. You're not helping, but I do need to get those. Lawson. I'm going to get all the Operation Monster Force figures I can in 2026. I'm also going to try to open up a stack of figures that I have in the studio. Nice. That sounds like fun. DJ Jedi. My resolution to massively cut down on the lag time from purchasing to opening to display. Man, dude. Yeah. I feel like that's all of our problems right now. It's like, because I know for some stuff, it's like, where are you going to put them? I got some. There they are. I got some lights for my shells there so I can properly light them. And it's like a motion detector version. And I can charge it with the USB as opposed to I got to get some new batteries, which was like, that's not going to work. So I'm looking forward to putting them. I have 2 and I'm like, but which one? It's like, dude, this is where it's so bad. I'm even trying to debate where to put my light shells. Maybe I can put them underneath there. We'll figure it out. But yeah, the display is always the end note for it. Maurice, resolution. Finally getting back to digital comics. I planned to make the switch a couple years ago, but never actually started the digital after stopping my physical collecting. Yeah, if you stop physical, you gotta get into the digital stuff, man. There's some really good comic books. Maybe not the traditional ones from back, even 10 years ago, but there's a lot of great stuff to read. Pixelated poses. Second resolution. Will not buy another Spider-Man unless it's the Figure Arts Game Reverse version. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that one. That does look cool. Henry G. Gonna try to pull back on these 70 and up purchases of one-off figures just because they're cool. Like the Zure Gold Hitter. The Hildur. She's a heck of a figure, but really is a one-off in my collection. Maybe compose her with your Masters of the Universe stuff. G-Brew. Buy less pins. I don't even have the number of jackets or coats to justify the sheer number I already have. Big Ledger. Henry G. Good luck with that one. Robert. Not a resolution, really, but I've been working on being more focused on my figures. Marvel Legends just finished off my headcanon teams. Some indie lines still, because they're newish, but I think I'm done with the big 2. Nice. So what else are you getting? Lefty. Resolution, leave McFarlane toys alone. Stay the course on Studio Series 86 only. No more NECA anything. Good luck. AJ, I have this give Moose a muffin mentality where I'll buy a figure because they interacted with another character at some point, even if I have no attachment to the story they interacted in. Gotta stop that. That would be a tricky one, especially with comic book characters. Pleasey, what's going on? What's up, Jeff? My resolution is not buying DC figures after McFarlane ends. Buy more display furniture, IKEA, to clean up my unbox pile. Man, I wonder if we have a competition of who has the biggest unbox pile. I feel like I would win, but let's see. Maybe I should do that and post it in the chat. Lefty sounds like Mission Impossible. Somebody calling Ethan Hunt. Lawson, Legends resolution should be cloth goods, capes on a regular basis. More unrepresented classic characters, new hands for female figures. No more knitting costume elements like Jean Grey's boots. That was still so bad. Kind of collecting. What's going on? Happy New Year to you too. Brian P. Resolution to find another side hustle to be able to afford all these new ridiculous higher price figures. And I feel like it's one of those deals where it's like, and then come the end of the year, they're on sale. Pixelated poses. For people who try Skybound and find it hard to get into because of some differences, stick with it. It's more than worth it. Absolutely. And it's one of those where it's so streamlined that it's like, Where's my favorite character? They're really conscious of it and they're working to bring in more stuff. They're just not trying to throw every character in all at once. The way they've built it up has been really well done. Like it's I grew up reading the Transformers and G.I. Joe comic books from back in the 80s. I still read Real American Hero, and two new G.I. Joes are joining the team in issue 325. And I have read every one of those issues. This Skybound, the Energon Universe version of G.I. Joe and Transformers has been so cool. It's like they can coexist, and it's been amazing. So I'm with Pixelated Poses. Definitely stick with this stuff. They're really good. And it's 3 books. Void Rivals, Transformers, and G.I. Joe. If you want to take a full plunge, start with Void Rivals. They have the trades and like really affordable format price points nowadays, so you could read it and just keep going because I feel like you're going to get hooked into it. But give them a shot. Read Transformers, at least the first volume, before you read Duke, and then read Cobra Commander, and then read G.I. Joe. So it's DC, G.I. Joe in that order. It's not just you, DJ Jedi. Ben Doom. Things that should change from the companies are figures not coming with accessories and still charging full price. I wouldn't mind seeing value scale for figures because I feel like if they had to price it accordingly to the accessories, everything would be under a price point. And then for the ones that had more, it's like, all right, well, you got me, and it's worth it. Thrust Fire. What's up, Thrust Fire Up? I resolved to clean my roster of Jaded Toys Player 1 Street Fighter characters, provided they cooperate and finish the lineup this year. I believe that's their plan. They just have a Zangief to put up for pre-order. But I think everyone else should be up at this point. And I guess Akuma, but he's not really part of the lineup. Just bought Budo for 18. Wow, where'd you get him from for that price? King Collector. Yeah, let's check out Skybound. Are they in some kind of order or all over the place? You can, like, if it's a thing, I don't know if I want to go. You don't have to read Void Rivals, but you absolutely read Transformers. The first, let me do this. I don't mind talking about comic books, so let's do it here all at once. Now I've got the Transformers theme song on in my head for no reason. All right, so here is what you read first, King Collector. Start off with this one. Transformers Volume 1, Robots in Disguise. That is the first one that you need to read. That is introducing you to this conflict that plays out in the Energon universe. And it's really, really cool. Like I said, if you're an old school Transformers fan, you're going to be like, okay, cool, I'm with you. And I am putting that link into the chat right now. So you can grab that. So there you go. This is from my affiliate Amazon. So you can go that route, do that one first. And that is basically the only one so far that you need to read in a particular order from Transformers. There's a lot of early connectivity for these titles. And if you just do that, you'll be okay. The next one that you need to read in this particular order is this one. That is Duke. Knowing is half the battle. And with this one, these are basically the most important ones. So if you do these two in this order, everything will make sense. Everything else is kind of like, eh. And of course, I would recommend reading Cobra Commander in that same style order because those books are the most important for the story. So it's like, okay, I got it now. And you can read Destro. I mean, I feel like once you start, it's going to be like, oh, cool. So the order is Duke, Cobra Commander, and then Destro. And again, you don't have to read Scarlet. So far, all the events in her book have not played out and have mattered to anything else in the other ones, which is kind of weird. It's like, what's going on? Let me see here. But this is all tied into figures, I promise. Because it's like, and Destro is also $10. Alrighty. So the way I have them in the chat is the way you should read them with the links. So this is Destro. And then after you read those books in that particular order, then go to G.I. Joe. And this is the Cobra Strikes. And once you get to this one, you can just read the books based on how you want to read them. Transformers does not have any kind of say with it. Volume 1. There you go. Cool. Now I've done my official share a little love to comic book duty, because I mean, keep reading comic books, y'all. All right. Now back to the chat. And I did break all that down for you. Eric, what's going on? 2026 resolution done after this year with DC. Only collecting my favorite G.I. Joe classifieds and finished Marvel Legends team, which is only a few left. Nice. Jimaru, stop buying NECA Ninja Turtle variants that existed for 1 or 2 issues. Hunter Leo is a cool figure, but one with no real place in the collection. Dog Avenger, better power effects. For which line? Am I just going to assume you are talking about Marvel Legends? Snake Eyes. My New Year's resolution is to do some literary classes, because there's some words I don't know, but I want to do classes because my dream is to be a voice actor. You can do it, bud. Make it happen and take them. I mean, you know, just go figure it out, and I make the move. We believe in you here at Laos Figure Files. Where is he? 18? Also, fingers crossed. We got a Dreadnought's Thunder Machine. There we go. I'm crossing all my fingers with you too. Jalen, I don't typically make resolutions, but I guess saving and budgeting more and really focusing on displaying my collection once I move and get settled. Nice. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I just want to enjoy life more than I've been in the last few years. I understand that, my man. It is, life can do some wild stuff, and you're just kind of like, what happened? So, yeah, hopefully you can do that and do occasional checks to go, hey, how you doing with that? Taking better care of yourself and enjoying life. Rick Cage, who has the most unboxed, Jeff? I'll take that bet. Hold my keys in my storage unit. If you got a storage unit for it, you might win. Brian P. Resolution to continue to not buy the Jada Street Fighter figures, no matter how tempting they are. How far have you gotten into it? I am looking forward to getting more of the Storm Marina figures. Excited about them. Brian P. Oh, DMP CD. Is it possible to go into Skybound without knowing any lore at all? It's actually written for people who know nothing, and I shouldn't say who it's written for. It's written as a gateway for people who've never read any G.I. Joe, any Transformers, never watched a movie, watched a cartoon, any of it. So you can go in completely fresh reading these books, and they do a great job of kind of walking you through and explaining the characters, what they mean in the context of the Energon universe. So you don't have to go in with this character should be doing this and saying this. It's just all new. So it'll be even easier for you because you don't have any preconceived notions of the characters, but it's absolutely a great book. So if you've enjoyed those characters and all that stuff beforehand, you're still going to love it. But I'm really excited for you not having any thought in terms of how they should be, who should be showing up, because you can just take it fresh. Like I did when I was reading G.I. Joe and Transformers way back in the day too. So let me know what you think about it. Brian P. Resolution 2. Catch up on Jada's Scooby-Doo figures, only have the creeper, but still upset that Spooky Space Kook's skull is all kinds of incorrect. What's up, Graham? Resolutions. Finish more customs and only collect for lines that I'm really interested in. I got to resist temptation of good deals. Oh, man. You got to show more of your customs, too. Send them along. I'd love to spotlight them. Found Buddha at Target on clearance, bought one, came to my senses, and went back for another. Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Maurice, hello, sir. You rock, sir. Thank you. You rock too. Thank God for giving me a collecting again. Thank you, sir. Absolutely. I mean, it's a fun thing and really ain't gonna hurt nobody, as Kid and Play once said. So hopefully you're having fun collecting. Yeah. And they're not long, they're not like the normal 12 issue trades. They're like 4 or 5. They're basically a story arc, but it's worth it. DJ Jedi co-sign on the Skybound love. I've been exclusively trade waiting since like 2012. Skybound titles are the only books I have on a pull list in my local comic book shop. Yeah, because they're that good. Have you read because we this week was crazy. We got Transformers, we got G.I. Joe, we got G.I. Joe Real American Hero. And also, I won't go into the full on deal with this, but yeah. The Ghost Machine books, really awesome too. Geiger, Redcoat, Rook Exodus. What's my other one that I'm blanking on? Hyde Street. A bunch of books from them that are really excellent. Definitely recommend checking those out as well. Patrick! World needs a Sebastian Shaw with Cole and Reeves from the Hellfire Club. Are you talking about Shaw with his the shirt off? That version? Kind of more of a, well, I guess after he beats down the X-Men. I want that one. And we do need a 2-pack of Cole and Reese would be great. That would be really awesome to get. Pixelated poses. Don't be too hasty on giving up on Jada Street Fighter. The articulation on Sagat is legit. Darn it. Yeah, he's way too high. I was trying to see if you could see. So, I mean, the whole line's fine. Dark Knight. Resolution. Continue to buy DC figures from LPCC, UPF, and InArt. They're making great looking articulated comic book accurate characters from Dark Knight Metal and Hush, Batman, and Superman. Nice. Which one's your favorite? King Collector? Yeah, I'm holding out on buying that Jada Vega because I know Storm Marina Vega will destroy the Jada one. I don't know. I feel like they're pretty close. But the price point is pretty similar too. So I don't feel like you could go wrong either way. Maurice, resolution. Finish some of the diorama projects we started. Now y'all always talk about all this cool stuff that I'm going to want to see too. So don't forget to send it my way. Excuse me. Dark Knight, resolution. Finally open up boxes in boxes in boxes. Boxes. Figure I already have. Oh man, I'm with you. Absolutely. Yes. Let's see the customs. It'd be great. What up, cuz? Joe Kelly the fourth representing. How you doing tonight? Beat down on Colossus. You did. It wasn't even funny. Lawson. Next resolution. To put more Sesame Street characters into Lawson's hands. Yes, that should definitely be a resolution for all of us. What's up, Vintage Bob? Hi, guys. I'm waiting for Four Horsemen to release their Thoth figure. I love all the Egyptian gods. New Year's resolution is to tweak and make customs of characters I know Hasbro won't make. And the cool thing with doing the customs, there's so many cool parts now that you could make all kinds of customs. It's like outside of the giants, there's a body type that would work for basically any character at this point. And when you do, I want to see him, Vintage Bob. David Anos, I couldn't resist. Oh man, starting to see the Gamerverse Spideys on clearance. I must resist. Really? How much are they going for on clearance? Jibru, here's a resolution. Hasbro's Ghostbusters team should make Plasma series. Figures of Janine, both films. Dan and Lewis, both films. Walter Peck, the mayor. Hardemeyer, mayor's assistant. Vigo and Jonas. It's been too long. I don't even understand how to say that last one. DJ Jedi, Marvel resolutions, Wirecloth capes, updated energy, magic, and flame effects. Complete more teams. Gotta give it to them. They really did do some good work in terms of completing more teams last year. But yeah, and then we're starting to see some more energy effects, magic effects, flame effects would be great. Ice effects for Blizzard and Iceman would be really helpful too. Lawson, Ramen Toy Resolution, decide to make Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers and Bionic 6. Ooh, ooh. Yes, please. Let's see them. Snake Eyes. Hey, Jeff, have you seen people using 3D printers? Absolutely. Looks amazing what people can do. Like I saw someone 3D print characters from Metal Gear Rising. Nice. I saw a 3D print of the G.I. Joe Wolverine. That looked really cool. Janos, thank you. David Thanos, wallet resolution, less pre-order. Probably not going to happen. Yeah, I mean, because it's just tricky because you never know what's going to be ridiculously hard to find in stores. And then it's like, I could have had that. All right, let's see here. It's 9:45. Let's do our giveaway. That'd be funny. Oops. To a new window. There you go. Don't you love when your computer just makes random noises and you're like, what was that one? Rick Cage. Without comments, there will be no figure collection. My screen name is DCM Marvel inspired. I'm Rick, surrounded by John. And a Luke. That's Divine Destiny. Heroes in 3D plastic. Yes. Lost. Jeffrey, in addition to the Iceman head, I'm going to try to get a classic Molecule Man. Thank you. And a classic Ben Grimm head made for Legends. I'm very, very excited about the Molecule Man one. I wish there were a way to shrink that figure down too. He's too tall. Vindum. My resolution is to wait on buying the Mattel DC line. But if they make an awesome Batman, yes. Might also try to get a classic 60s Clea head made. Like that idea. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, let's do this. There's so many different figures. Okay, let's try it this way. All right, courtesy. Let's just do this. Of our friend Retro Robo Toys. Let's go up to it so y'all can scroll through again. Is our giveaway for tonight. That is this figure, the DC Multiverse Batgirl. Let's see here. It's her in all of her purple and yellow glory. Solid looking figure. Like that head sculpt. That's all you get. And you will pay $0. All you have to do to enter and possibly win this figure is do this. Put in the chat right now this hashtag bats. Let's do it this way. Yes, do it that way. Okay, so back to the chat while you guys put in hashtag bats if you want. Hustleism. Resolution. Get more Viper army builders. Yeah, those are good ones to get for sure. King Elector. We definitely need Galaxy Rangers and Bionic 6. I just saw Super 7 is also doing Tiger Sharks next. Wish someone would do some 8 or 9-inch GoBot figures, non-transformable, just cartoon accurate. That would be great. I really enjoyed GoBots. And yeah, I'm with you. Those would be really fun. I don't think you entered this one, David Thanos. You just won. Blake setting rules up here. David Thanos, for the first time in the existence of this channel, there would be a giveaway of something that was given away. I don't know this first time. Rick Cage. Jeff, thanks for all the comic recommendations. That's dang decent. I see what you did there. Lawson. I love to enter this, but I have her. And I hate to keep someone who doesn't have her from having one. So I'm out. Maestro Peterson. I wish they'd do an Eartha kit right now. For McFarlane? Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. Love that cable. DJ Jedi. McFarlane DC Resolutions. Finished my milestone display by finally putting out hardware and rocket figures. Also, an actually comic accurate steel from Random Superman. Yes. I don't have them because it was like, that's not getting it done at all. So I would love to get an accurate steel. Brian P. Rules. Am I correct in saying that Hasbro owns the name GoBots, but not the designs of the characters in the show? I don't know about that. It's got a while if they don't. But I feel like they maybe so. Because I know they've done some GoBots inspired looks with paint jobs. I wonder if that is true. My show. Catwoman Eartha Kitt. Why not? Why not indeed? We did get one in the 6-inch line. I was on the fence about that Batgirl, so I'm in. Your pixelated poses. Cyber the Great. Resolution. Build a display dedicated to my childhood nostalgia. Ninja Turtles, Transformers, Voltron, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, etc. I want to see how that display turns out, my man. Lefty. I have a Batman 66 Eartha Kitt Catwoman. It was so funny because Target had that figure on clearance for like $10. I could not find one with a good paint job. And I just kept going, I'll find another because she was plentiful. And I can't find one. I'm like, you dummy. You could have fixed the paint on your own. Vin Doom, there's an Eartha Kitt Batman 66 figure that came out way early in the line. Yes. Not a weird question. New York Toy Fair is coming out. It is next month. When is it exactly? It is February 14th. Valentine's Day through the 17th. On Harriet. All right, so let's see here. Start Mezco style kit bashing. There you go. Yes, to a McFarlane 66 Catwoman and a comic Catwoman from the 80s of that dark gray suit. Yeah, that would be cool too, Blake. King of Later. Yeah, all the 66 figures look great on the shelf. Yeah. They look really good together on the shelf. Maybe better than they are figures, but yeah, I'll take them. Okay, so now that I've properly shrunk this one up, let's get on to it. Let's see who's going to win. That picture looks weird. All right, let's do this thing. Let's draw. Let's see who's going to win. DC Fett. Congratulations. You have won the DC Digital Batgirl. It's too many bat characters. So all I need you to do is email me at lylesmoviefiles@gmail.com. Lyles, of course, is my last name. So just make sure to hit me up and Retro Robo will send that along to you. And why did I do that? There we go. Okay. Back to the chat. Gotta keep money free from Mezco's Toy Fair. Right. That is coming, isn't it? All the good sports as usual. King Glider, I still need 66. King Tut and Egghead. They're fun. And I was able to get them cheaper. That was pretty fun. A winner is you. I think he did. It was malicious intent as well. It is a good looking Batgirl. That is what happens, isn't it? Congratulations, DC Fett. Cool. So, and with all that said and done, didn't look like there's gonna be any live streams or nothing really exciting. Hopefully, y'all will enjoy your 3-day weekend. Hopefully, I'll be ecstatic come Saturday night with my boys taking care of business against the Seahawks. Against all odds squad. We'll be back. Not Wednesday. We'll probably do because there's a screening of Mercy. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. And Chief or Jace, or maybe both, will be going with me to see that. So no Lyles Movie Files on Wednesday. What we will most likely do is do a 7 to 8 o'clock version of Lyles Movie Files on Thursday. Then, of course, we'll be back on the show, Lost Figure Files, at 8:05 on Thursday. No change to the schedule for that. But you're going to get a double dose, movie files and figure files on Thursday. So thank you all, as always, for hanging out with me. Hope you all have an awesome weekend. Until next time, this episode of Lost Figure Files has been filed.